He's now playing for what I consider more of a dysfunctional laughingstock, the Lakers, run by Jeannie Buss and Linda Rambis and Kurt Rambis and Rob Pelinka. They're the second team in L.A. in dysfunction and laughingstock.
If you don't mind me asking, what could the Mets possibly do to overtake the Yankees? What could the Jets possibly do to overtake the Giants? This will always be Laker Central.
So, for proof here, I have the column written by my friend Bill Plash, 30-plus years, and been a longtime columnist for the L.A. Times. And if I can quote here from Bill, he says...
What'd he say?
Listening to those two guys talk, it was clear they joined the Clippers because the Clippers were everything the Lakers are currently not.
Yeah.
Championship coach, steady front office, and a culture not driven by stars. And also, if we go back to the first remark out of number two's mouth yesterday, he says, he was asked about the Clippers, and he says, I mean, as far as the last few years, as far as the basketball standpoint, the Clippers have been better. Well, he was just stating the truth.
That was...
Wait a second, I got a stat for you here. Do you realize that your Lakers, LeBron's Lakers, have now missed the playoffs for 6 straight years?
Has he been there all 6?
No, he has not, but this is the team he joined. This is the team he is the face of.
Without a star.
Do you realize that the Lakers over those 6 seasons are tied with the Knicks for the worst record in the NBA?
Yeah.
Think about that. Wow. They're at the bottom of the barrel right now, tied with the Knicks for the worst record. Do you realize over that span of time, the last 6 years, the Clippers have the 5th best record in the NBA? So they've been kind of a perennial playoff team. They've been a factor.
Well, Skip, that was, of all the things that he said, that was the most truthful statement that I believe Kawhi uttered. And he's not lying. Because you look at top to bottom, you take the CEO, the owner, Steve Ballmer. Skip, if he can run Microsoft, he can damn sure run the Clippers.
Okay.
Jerry West, Bob the Builder, he built the Lakers.
Keep going.
He built
keep
Memphis.
going.
He
keep
helped
going.
build Golden
keep
State.
going.
And then you got championship
Keep
coach
going.
Doc Rivers.
Keep going.
It's not
I know.
It's
That's what I felt like.
Yes.
That's why Bill Plaschke wrote yesterday, Lob City always felt hokey, and that was the Chris Paul, Blake Griffin.
Right.
It was always like, we're trying hard, we're trying to be the Lakers, but we can't be because we're not built right. And Plaschke finally comes to this conclusion. This feels real. This feels like it could have some traction. This feels like a city is going to start paying closer attention to the Los Angeles Clippers.
Yeah, but Skip, the thing is about Chris Paul and Blake Griffin, yeah, they were talented players, but Kawhi Leonard is a 2-time Finals MVP.
Okay.
Paul George is a legit player. So now you have elite-level players, and you get Doc, and Doc now he has something to work. Not to say that he didn't.
I saw a stat, I think it was on SportsCenter, where last year, I didn't even know this, in points per touch, number 2 was number 1 in the league, and Paul George, wait a second, I think it's the other way around. Paul George was number 1, and number 2 was number 2.
Right.
In points per touch.
Right.
Well, that means you got 2 top fivers, right? And you went boom, boom. And it's been years since any NBA team was able to go boom, boom and get 2 of the top 5, right?
Yeah, 2 guys that average over 25 points change teams in the offseason.
Okay, it hasn't happened. It's why Doc was using the word yesterday. This feels like a movement to me. A movement? Yeah. Wow, okay. Circle that. But something's happening here.
But you know what the time it is. 3-2-3 will always trump the 2-1-3.
But what did Doc do?
Yeah,
fittingly, he rearranged the jersey order to 2 and 1 3. 2-1-3 is the original early downtown LA area code. When I worked here in the 1970s, it was the only area code. It was 2-1-3. Number 2 and number 1-3. Aha! Maybe they're on to something.
Good, that was Skip. But Skip, you know, but give me this. The reason why both guys don't want to take responsibility is because they saw the fallout that happened with LeBron James. This is what we know, okay, LeBron James, he made the decision. So everybody knows we're not making a decision. We might tweet it on IG or put it on Twitter, but we're not going to have a sit down and says, moving forward, I will be taking my services to such and such. Okay. We're not going to do that. Okay, LeBron took a ding here. No, we got to stay away from that. Oh, he took a ding over there. Because what we're seeing is that when you get power, people automatically assume you're just, what's the,
marionette?
Yeah, Pinocchio. What was his handler?
Puppeteer?
No, what was his handler name?
Geppetto.
Yeah. They think you're Geppetto. You're pulling the strings, Skip Bayless. Kawhi doesn't want that. You said it, that Skip. Now everybody was saying it was Uncle Dennis. Lo and behold, He moving Uncle Dennis. Paul George gonna sit there and say, I'm trying to figure out, Skip. Now, you know this. We heard nothing about Paul George being on the market until he had that old secret meeting in Westlake at a hotel that the Lakers went to visit Kawhi. And then all of a sudden, Sam Preston, now granted, Sam was like, maybe you're right, Skip. Maybe they were thinking about this. But Paul George wasn't available until he made himself available saying, Sam, I want out. And then Sam was like, thank you. Because that's why they're calling around. They're calling around to see who they compare. I'm not thinking you compare a guy that got 3 years left on his deal.
I'm with you. Shannon, LeBron just got out LeBroned by number 2. Or Uncle Dennis or both. You got out LeBron.
That's what I'm saying. Just own it. That's what I'm just saying. I ain't got no, Skip, I'm happy. I got no problem with what Paul did or what Kawhi did, but I just need you to own that. Don't hide.
Okay, but I didn't feel that they were hiding yesterday because Paul George said, I think the Lakers are the Lakers. We've got our own identity. We're chasing something else. We're not looking at the Battle of L.A. We got bigger things in mind, bigger goals to accomplish. So, is that not the perfect thing to say yesterday?
It is the perfect thing to say. So, in other words, do you believe Kawhi Leonard had anything to do with Paul George being at the Clippers?
Sure.
But he said he wasn't an architect. So is that a lie or isn't it?
Okay, I'll buy that. Yeah. And what?
One lie uttered is enough to cast doubt in all subsequent statements. So what am I to believe? When he says that, oh, I was thinking about if he hadn't been here, I was going to be a Laker.
Okay, but
do we supposed to believe that?
Did they back off? Did they shy away from a championship goal?
No.
All that number 2 said yesterday was, I came here because I wanted to make history. He didn't want to join where Showtime had created the Lakers. He wanted to start over. He said, we want to build our own. Well, that takes a measure of guts, right?
Absolutely.
I'm not debating that. I got no problem. If you want to go it alone, you want to do whatever. Kawhi is already a 2-time champ, a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's a 100% first ballot lock Hall of Famer. He's a made man already. Anything he gets after that is like layers on the cake. We got a 14-layer cake, we just stack it. When is enough? I got no problem. But don't say you're not the architect. You did this. You went to Jerry West and said, you can get me another superstar, I will sign. Paul George, you called Sam Presti. Sam Presti didn't call you, said, Paul, I'm moving you. That's all I'm saying, Skip.
Did the planets align in Oklahoma City? I think they did.
It was a perfect scenario because Sam Presti realized this combination is not going to win a championship, and I'm going to look, I'm putting Clay Bennett in luxury tax hell
that is correct.
For something that we're never going to be.
He thought it's time for me to start over.
Right. Paul George made it easy for Sam Presti.
He did.
Sam Presti looks like the good guy in this.
Yeah, I
Paul
agree.
George sometimes looked like, well, he didn't get the same. We're going to talk about 80 later. He's not getting the backlash, but he got 2 years left on his deal. And he called Sam Presti and said, Sam, I want out. I want to go. And did he say, I want to go to Boston? Did he say, I want to go to Sacramento or New Orleans? Where did he say he wanted to go, Skip? It's funny.
And what did the Clippers offer back?
Skip.
The sun and the moon and Jupiter and Mars and right?
It's funny how all of a sudden Kawhi Leonard is a free agent, and one of the teams that he's interested in is the very team. How did Paul George know that? How did Paul George know that the Clippers? He's the very team. Hey, Sam, you know what, bro? This thing ain't working for me. I want out. Can you get me to the Clippers? Why the Clippers? Why the Clippers? Why not Toronto? Why not the Lakers? Oh, exactly.
Shannon, you got bamboozled.
No, Skip. I got no Skip. Look, I got no problem with that. Yes, he was extending it because he was giving the Clippers an opportunity to find another piece that they could put with him on this board.
Yep.
No problem whatsoever. My only problem is just own it. That's all I'm saying. Paul George says, look here. This was an opportunity too good to pass up. To play alongside a guy that's only a year difference, a two-way player like myself, an elite player, a championship caliber player, Skip, this was an opportunity I just had to take. And when I talked to Kawhi, and Kawhi said, bro, we can do this. I'm all for it. Kawhi, bro, I got the power. I just took down the defending champs 2 times.
Yep.
So I'm all powerful. He was growing on that. Yeah, that's what I did. So what and what?
Okay, so Paul George was able to say, Russ was very happy for me. Well, he was once Russ figured out he gets to go to James, then he's happy,
That's
right?
good.
He wasn't happy that you left him all alone there.
For a minute, he wasn't happy until he figured out about a day later, wasn't it? A couple of days later, I can go.
Because think about how excited he was that you were staying. He threw you a big celebration. And now all of a sudden, Russ happy for me. Russ like, man, I just spent 100 racks, 100 bands.
He did.
Fooling with you. Had a big old stage, invited everybody. We on stage smoking cigars, talking about we gonna bring, this is where I wanted to be. I want to bring a championship. But Skip Bayless, if you notice something, I heard something, and this told me everything I need to know about Paul George. Now, when he was already in Indiana, and with the 15th pick was Kawhi Leonard. He said, what are y'all doing? I was worried. That's why he wouldn't go play with LeBron James. He don't want that pressure. He don't want that.
Well, you're preaching to my choir.
You
What
right,
have I always
Skip.
called him?
You right.
What have I always called him? George Paul, right?
You have. It's confusing.
Okay. Thank you very much. Last point on the Clippers.
Okay.
I loved how this was so well rehearsed and so well presented yesterday. Where did they choose to hold this initial introductory press conference?
point.
Where was it? It was at the Green Meadows Recreation Center in South Central Los Angeles. They went to the people. They didn't do it at Staples. They didn't do it at the Lakers' glitzy facility.
We wouldn't let them have it. We wouldn't let them have it.
Right?
You're a tenant.
So, meanwhile, LeBron is up making Space Jam 2. They are down at the Green Meadows Rec Center. And what has Doc been referring to his team as? What did he call his Clippers last year? We're a blacktop team, meaning we're tough, we're gritty, we'll scratch and claw, we'll bite, we'll fight, right? That's what Patrick Beverly will do. That's what Lou and Montrez will do. And now he's added 2 stars into that mix.
You know why they had to go down there? You know when you're a tenant somewhere, you're at an apartment complex, you got to put in a recommendation to get the clubhouse. You just can't go get the clubhouse anytime you want to.
Yeah, but I think the people loved having them there.
We love it.
And what was outside the Green Meadows Rec Center? What was it covered with?
I'm going down to deface it.
A giant mural.
I'm going to deface it.
A mural of number 2 and Paul George, who are, by the way, Southern California products.
I'm going to do to them what they did to LeBron.
No,
I just want you to know, yes, I am.
Okay, so just think about this. LeBron comes, and his murals immediately get defaced.
I will get you. Guess
So
what?
now there's a South Central mural of number 2 and Paul George, and I will bet you, unless you deface it, nobody else will.
I'm gonna put 23 on 2.
Are you?
You watch your every move.
And I'm gonna put a minus in front of 13.
Are you?
It's a good PR move, though, the location.
Was it?
That's a good point.
Beautiful.
We ain't in the PR.
Beautiful.
We ain't gonna win them
We'll
titles.
see.
We gonna get them titles.
I don't
That's
know.
what we go. I know.
Speaking of more titles, will Tom Brady win another championship and continue to make Shannon miserable? These guys are making their Super Bowl picks next. Don't forget, you can check us out every day on the Fox Sports channel on SiriusXM. We'll be right back.